Hey guys, and welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about something. I always emphasize that you should know your vehicle. Like you should know, what this button does, or this knob does, or this knob does. You should always know as much as you can about your vehicle, and whether that's go to YouTube and learn, open up your owner's manual. If you don't have an owner's manual, by the way, you can go online on a lot of vehicles. You can go online, just search, for instance, like 2006 Chevy Trailblazer owner's manual, and it'll usually come up with two or three options where it's a downloadable PDF file. If you do not have a PDF reader, you can go onto Google Play and you can download Adobe Acrobat. By the way, none of these are sponsors. I don't have any sponsors on my videos, but that will let you open up the PDF file and read it. You can read your owner's manual on your phone. So I have one for my Challenger. I have one for this one. Even though I had the physical copies, I have them. So anyway, what I'm going to talk about today is a lot of vehicles have this 1, 2, and 3, and then drive, or it has drive and then 2 and 1, or drive and 2, or L and 2, stuff like that. So what those are for, this one is very specific because the 3 in this one is made for, this one doesn't have a tow haul mode. And in the owner's manual, it says to use third gear. Like you put it in 3 when you're towing or hauling. That's, like I said, use your owner's manual. It'll tell you all sorts of stuff about your vehicle. So that's the specific for this vehicle. I don't know. I mean, this is Chevy Trailblazer, the old one from the 2000s. And also the GMC Envoy is the same way and stuff like that. The newer Trailblazers, I don't know. I have never researched them or anything like that, so I'm not going to say anything about them because I don't know. But what I'm going to talk about though is these 1, 2, and 3. So in this vehicle, if I put it in 1, it'll stay in first gear. If I put it in 2, it'll stay in second gear. And if I put it in 3, it'll use first, second, and third like normal. It just will not go above third gear. So drive will let it go into fourth gear. So what you do is, in snowy weather, if you're at the top of a hill or the bottom of a hill. So I'm going to talk about the bottom of a hill first, going up a hill. Before you go up the hill, you're going to want to put it in like second gear. Depends on how fast you're going, depends on your transmission. Like I said, know your vehicle. I know, for instance, the Challenger, second gear tops out at about 55. So if I'm going 55, I don't want to use second gear. I want to use like third or fourth. Possibly even higher, just depends on the hill. This one is only a 4-speed, so if I'm going 55, I can put this in second, and it's still fine. First gear is, 55 is too high for first gear, so I can't do that. But third gear, second gear, it'll work for both. And what that does is that creates a better gear ratio for going up the hill more steady, so you don't lose your momentum. And then the opposite of that is going down a hill. It holds you back more. So if you're ever like in a parking lot that's empty, go up to like 20 miles an hour and drive and let off the gas. Or, I mean, you're used to that with your normal driving. Let off the gas. It doesn't really hold you back that much. It does a little bit, but not much. If you put your vehicle in second gear, or especially if you're going like, say 20 miles an hour, you could even do first gear, you'll feel a resistance. It'll slow you down. So what you want to do is at the top of a hill before you go down, if it's icy, you can do this if it's dry weather, honestly. But it raises your RPMs. So for instance, if I have this at 20 miles an hour in first gear, my RPMs are going to be like 3,000 or 4,000 RPMs. So it's going to be higher, but it's going to hold back the vehicle from accelerating on its own, like coasting. Because if you go down a steep hill, a lot of people have this, where you go down a steep hill and the vehicle accelerates and you have to hit the brakes. If you're going down an icy hill, you don't really want to hit the brakes. You want to try to keep it at the same speed or slow down a little bit. Well, if you put it in second gear or first gear, depending on what speed you're going, because like I said, if you're going 50 miles an hour, you probably can't use first gear. Some cars you can, but not many. But you put it in second gear or even third. Like I have this one, I can put it in third. That will help slow me down. But you want to do it at the top of a hill. I do not recommend doing it while you're going down the hill. But if you are starting to get a little bit like you're still accelerating and you're kind of forgot at the top of the hill, I do not recommend it, but you can still do it. It's just you're going to have a higher chance of losing control while you're already going down the hill. Because it's going to try to hold back a vehicle that is trying to accelerate. So it's a little iffy with the process of that happening. So if you're at the top of a hill, if you put it in second gear at the top of a hill, it's going to slow down a little bit before you even start going down the hill. So you can use your brakes to like modulate. If it starts accelerating a little bit, it's gonna accelerate slower going down the hill than it would in drive. So it's easier to keep it in control with the brakes because you're not pressing as far down on the brake pedal to keep it at the right speed. I have been in a vehicle where somebody did not do this, and the vehicle, this was in Colorado, in a vehicle that loved to coast. If you were like coasting down a hill, it would accelerate like you wouldn't believe. I've never been in a vehicle or driven a vehicle that has coasted down a hill and accelerated as quick as this one has. So that person tried to slow down, but they had no way of doing it when we were already going down the hill. It was just a sheet of ice, and we got up to when we crested the hill, we were going like 55, 60. We got up to 80 miles an hour coasting down this hill. And I was like, what are you doing? When we started accelerating. And that person was afraid to hit the brakes because they knew that they would probably lose control. So that's the whole thing you want to avoid. If you put it in second gear, if that person would have put it in second gear at the top of the hill, that truck would not have gone up to 80 miles an hour out of control. We didn't lose control, luckily, but it was still a scary experience. And it was like a 2-mile long hill, pretty steep, in Colorado, coming back from Breckenridge. Don't remember what road, but it's a very steep road. It's like 1.5 miles or 2 miles long. And that was a scary experience and could have been avoided by putting it in second gear or third gear at the top of the hill. Then that person could have just modulated the brakes a lot easier because it wouldn't be trying to accelerate out of control, or accelerate as quickly, I should say. So it might not have ever even got to 80. It might have got to like 65, something like that. If that person never hit the brakes, it wouldn't have gone as fast, most likely. So that's a tip that you can do. Bottom of the hill, do it before you start going up. At the top of the hill, do it before you start going down. And like I said, going down a hill, you can do it anytime you want. It's not going to hurt anything except for if you're going too low of a gear. So if you're going 60 and you put it in first, I mean, most cars nowadays won't let you actually, it won't actually shift into first. It'll just not do it. But some older vehicles will just do it, and then you can blow your engine because you're going to over rev it. But like for instance, this one, if I'm going 40, I can drop it in second gear at the top of a hill and go down it. Dry weather and also like maybe even wet roads, as long as it's not slippery, you can do it in the middle of the hill if you want to, especially dry roads. Like you can do it whenever you want going down a hill. The whole point of it is to not lose traction. So on ice, slippery surfaces, you don't want to do it while you're already into the hill. Same thing with going up a hill, dry pavement, or even in the rain if it's not slippery. You can, if you figure like, you feel like your vehicle needs to accelerate going up the hill a little bit more. Like for instance, this one, I feel like this one upshifts too early. So if I'm trying to get up a hill that has a 55 mile an hour speed limit and I have it in drive, it upshifts into third at like 40 or 50, and then it just like barely even accelerates. So if I just keep it in second gear and accelerate to 55 and then put it into drive, it stays there. And it just makes it easier on the engine to get there. So anyway, if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I'll try to answer them as best I can. I am not a mechanic or an expert. Just want to point that out. It's just some of this is my opinion, but a lot of this is fact actually. But I'll try to answer as best I can. So thanks for watching, and hit that like and subscribe if you would like, and I will see you on the next one.